Welcome to this amalgamation game project I like to call Fate Prism. This is session number 3, and so far everything has been turning up great, aside from the editing.
Yay.
Once again, we are joined by our regular players. We have Atlas Core.
It's me.
We have AI Ignister.
Hello.
And we have Raven Soul.
I'm getting too old for this shit.
Now, you might notice that once again, Zivith is not with us today, and unfortunately, it is because he is sick as a dog. So, unfortunately, he will not be able to join us, but that doesn't mean that Chimo will not. I have been given full permission to pilot Chimo's character for him, since I've kind of sort of been doing that to help him along in prior sessions, and he said he is A-okay with whatever comes of that, so long as I don't kill his character.
I mean, if you kill his character while he's away, that's just...
Cruel.
That's D&D horror. That's D&D horror story material.
It really is. I am not so cruel that I would ever kill another player's character without good reason.
So we have, so guys, we have to make sure we don't get into combat so the dice doesn't have a chance to fuck us over.
To be fair, if I'm the one piloting the character, my luck will probably cause that to happen. But if
exactly,
for some reason Ziv is really good on dice rolls, and that AoE magic bullshit is great.
It's a problem solver.
He's Senkai.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and begin the session as normal, and we'll just say that Chimo was the first one awake, and she's already sitting in the living room, enjoying a modest breakfast of whatever she can dig out of your guys' food supply, mutual food supply.
I was about to say, of course Chimo digs in our food supplies. Okay, but you meant mutual food supplies. That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you guys have a thing of your food, his food, her food, their food, you know.
Yeah, we didn't call dibs.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, to be fair, we all had our own food in our own backpacks. So that's what I was keeping track of.
Well, I'll let you guys label that however you want. We'll just say that she has food in hand and she's just quietly munching on it.
Yeah, it don't matter. I'm being a smartass.
Better a smartass than a dumbass.
¿Por qué no los dos?
Grazie.
Wrong language.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Grazie is Italian.
I know.
I thought.
All right, so let's see.
I'm uneducated.
Aside from Chimo, who's waking up first?
Well, I mean...
Yeah, I know.
Ignis,
We'll get to you in a minute.
Okay.
Raven, Barry, what are you two doing?
Joseph is already up early as shit, so...
Okay, so he'd probably be...
He's just chilling on the couch right now.
So he's in the living room with Chimo. They just probably haven't said anything to each other all morning, right?
Yeah, because he's been nose deep in a book he found.
Fair enough, fair enough. Picked up something from the library then?
Yep.
And you didn't tell me.
Eh.
Yeah. Danashi couldn't roll to see what book you randomly picked up.
Please. There's so many books in that library, he could probably just name something and he'd probably find it. He'd find the history of peanut butter and jelly if he asked for it.
Amazing.
somebody would contribute that book. Okay, so then that means that Barry would be the next one to wake up.
Yeah, Barry's probably a really heavy sleeper if I had to guess.
Probably a heavy snorer, too.
Yeah. I wasn't going to say it, but yeah.
It's more fun when you do. Okay, so we'll say that he's just like waking up right now, but when it comes to Ignis, something special happened at the tail end of the prior session, and we need to talk about this real quick. Ignis, do you want to sneak your way back into the house, or do you just want to walk in the front door?
Nah, I'm gonna just walk in the front door.
All right, well, when you reach the front door, you happen to notice that there's something sitting in front of it. The newspaper for the day.
He proceeds to pick it up and then just goes inside.
The front door opens, revealing Ignis walking in clear as day, and Chimo and Joseph are sitting in the living room.
Where have you been all night?
Let's just say I had to pay someone a visit.
Judging from the look on your face, I think I know who.
You know what? Actually, that's a good opportunity to get the dice rolling on this one. I'm gonna roll for Chimo. Joseph, do me a favor and give me a notice roll.
I love the idea of Joseph and Chimo sitting on the couch like stern parents when their kid's been out all night.
Joseph is just the fucking grandpa with old wartime stories. Don't worry about it.
What in the hell? Apparently Chimo's nature is just blessed, because that's a +2 on a 0 scale.
Okay, I got a +2 on the modifier.
Say the line with me, everyone.
Oh, okay.
No, it's the simp.
It's simping for the old army, man, because I got one higher.
Fair enough.
You're immortal. You can be classified as a gilf.
Okay, so Chimo notices out of the corner of her eye that there's a little flower symbol stitched on the back of Ignis's gloved hand, which sticks out incredibly brightly since it's a pink flower against his blacks and reds.
If you're trying to be some kind of assassin, you need to get rid of the bright parts of your costume.
Well, I mean,
You're wearing a black collar with a pink gemstone. What did you get into last night? A fucking kink show?
Hold on. I need to keep my composure for this. Oh dear God. Oh dear God. I'm trying so hard not to laugh at this.
And in the middle of this cross-interrogation is when Barry's half-sleeping ass just trounces into the room.
His eyes are probably still half closed. He probably doesn't even register that y'all are there. I mean, he knows that y'all are there, but he doesn't register the goings on.
He'd sooner recognize the newspaper in his hand than anything else.
Ooh, Ignis, toss me that morning newspaper.
He proceeds to do so.
Barry does not catch it. It's like that thing where he has his hand out to catch it, but it's like the wrong hand on the wrong side of his body, so the newspaper just falls to the floor. Damn.
Well, during your cross-examination, Barry picks up the paper because he clearly missed it, and in his sleepy haze, he is able to find a few articles of note. The front page article, which everybody can see clear as day, is an article that says, "Not so lucky anymore."
I think, hold on. Let me clear the crap out of my eyes real quick.
I just hear sandpaper.
When you first wake up and you have like the little crouton bullshit in your eyes.
Yeah. I can only imagine in his case, because of his bug skin, it's like sandpaper on his face.
Like croutons. Yeah, it's probably like actual crouton size.
Yeah.
All right, now that I can see. Oh hey, they got a news article over here about how Lucky got thrown in the slammer. Says I'm right.
It was about time, but also, Joseph will point at Ignis. You still need to explain why you're acting like my old comrades late during the bunks.
Well, just proceeds to blush a little bit.
Not that anybody can see it, of course.
Yeah.
You went and saw her, didn't you?
Maybe.
Am I the only one with standards in this house?
Listen, they just happened out of nowhere. I just wanted to get information.
Joseph will rub his temples. I really am the grandpa of this party, huh? I gotta scold you a lot.
Oh boy.
Okay, I will admit though, stuff like that can happen. But please, for the love of God, keep a tighter head screwed on you. And not the other head, God damn it.
Ah, I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Oh,
I like to
dear
think at
God.
this moment, Barry's finally caught on to what just happened.
Yeah,
He's not going to say anything regarding it.
but he's just gonna be grinning ear to ear because he knows.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Barry was in the rest of the business. He knows how some of the guys did. He doesn't partake in it, but he don't knock it neither.
Yeah, you mentioned that last time. That's consistent.
Yeah. Just give it just a wink. We all know what happened.
No judgment.
No judgment, exactly.
This is a house of no
So we have the
judgment.
scolding grandpa and the no judgment grandpa. This is great.
Oh Lord. And Chimo's just sitting in the corner, just munching away at her food like she does not care. She just has no
Chimo's
interest in the conversation anymore now that she knows.
Yeah, and then I also find it funny. Chimo's career on her character sheet is exotic dancer.
She knows.
That's never come up in character yet.
Not yet. But it will.
I hope it does one day. I really want to see. I'm about to say, if Raven's scolded Ignis now, I can't wait to see what that's going to be like. Of course, Chimo give a shit. Anyways, Barry's going to start reading the newspaper aloud. It's like, oh, we got some neat old articles here. We got an article about Madame Miranda's fashion show.
How poignant of timing is that? And about this time is when your little chicken companion trots in, looking for something to eat.
Yeah. Shit, can I just, crunch up a granola bar and drop it in this food bowl?
You should be able...
crunch it in my hand. It's not...
Yeah, you know what?
That's
I'll let you
weird.
do that. You've got the physique for it. I won't even make you roll for that. There's no point. Go right ahead.
I in real life could crush a granola bar in my hand. What do you mean you're not going to make me roll for it?
I was thinking about making you roll to find out whether or not you just broke it up or you basically just turned it into a pile of sand. But it's fine. Just let it happen.
Yeah. I was like, all right, there you go, buddy. Take the water bowl, fill it up with some water. There you go.
He's definitely a lot more mellow this morning now that he's walked in and seen food immediately available.
Yeah, don't worry, buddy. We'll learn from our mistakes. I'll just give him a small pat on the head while he's eating.
And Chimo just kind of stares at you with one eyebrow raised.
Hey, you know what? I never claimed to be the smartest, but, we learn from our mistakes. Take responsibility. Anyways, folds open the newspaper to get off of the front page headlines. Oh, there's a circus in town? Circus is back. Cirque du Gaumont returns this Sunday. Gomadan, excuse me, I misread that. I got more than eye boogers. Alright. But, y'all ever go see a circus before?
No.
Oh, that could be fun.
Does Nazis running on fire count as a circus?
Technically.
I mean, there are clowns.
No comment. Oh wait, here we go, Joseph. You ought to like this one. I'm gonna come over. I'm gonna set the newspaper right in front of Joseph. I'm gonna point at the Garfield comic strips. There you go. There was something to get a laugh out of you in this morning.
Yeah, apparently Garfield comics and crossword puzzles still exist in this world.
I'm more so wondering how they even got the bloody cat here.
Who knows?
All they had to do was draw him.
Yeah, apparently somebody had an identical idea.
It just looks like something straight up from Temu.com. But there was an attempt.
Oh, maybe one of those boring grandpas, and you'd be more interested in the crossword puzzles then.
Well, I will admit I have one thing in common with this cat. Mondays irk me.
Well, that's character lore, I guess.
You Mondays are awful for everyone.
Yeah, man. Imagine we were doing this on a Monday.
I I hate them more because of what the trenches were like, son.
Oh yeah, everybody took their Monday morning aggression out on the battlefield, didn't they?
Basically.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get the ball rolling. Now,
I'm gonna get a smile out of Joseph one of these sessions.
one day,
One day we're going to spark the smallest amount of joy in his life.
I mean, we've already gotten him started. He actually found booze that kind of gives him a buzz.
Yeah, but I didn't do that.
Fair enough. I'm just saying, there's hope. There's hope.
I wanted to be the one that makes them happy.
I mean, Joseph is an entertainer by nature. That's how the only way he knows how to interact with people.
Oh boy. All right, well, let's get the ball rolling on this story. So, if I recall correctly, the 3 points you guys have been talking about off and on are finding a solution for your chicken pal as far as food and an actual habitat, visiting other domains, and possibly seeking a job for Joseph.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
All right, so go ahead and pick your poison on that. I will make it work.
Well, okay, listen here, fellas. I know, I know we all got our own agendas, and I'm not gonna force any of y'all to come with me. I'm gonna go see about getting some stuff for Sonny, because I don't think these granola bars is necessarily rated for roosters, and I wanna make sure we get him some good food, and maybe get a doggy door or something, so he could go outside when he feels like. If y'all want to come with me, that's cool. But if you don't want to, I ain't gonna make you.
I have a job interview at the university.
You do?
Damn, that was fast.
When the hell did you schedule that?
Well, I mean, didn't he brought that up earlier? Well, didn't he brought that up last session?
He said he was going to. He said he was interested in it. I didn't know he had already called in and set up an appointment.
Oh.
Yeah, it was before he went to bed. Hee hee ha ha.
All right, you know what?
You don't have phones. How did you call and schedule an appointment?
Actually, you do have phones. You just don't have phone numbers. The only phone number you have is the city hall.
Oh.
Yeah, there are landline
sure
phones
City
in this
Hall
world.
It's a rotary phone.
Basically.
Let's say City Hall would definitely at least point him in the direction of the university number-wise.
Well, you know what? Since this is a reasonable thing that we can actually still make happen, we will say that you did, in fact, contact City Hall and ask for the number to one of the local schools to possibly have an interview with the dean. We'll let you have that one. But next time, do me a favor and just let me know in advance so I can set that up proper.
Okay, my bad.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It works for me. So I'm thinking what we'll do then is split the party, because Chimo will actually go with Barry on this one so that they can get some food, because she actually gives a shit about the chicken. And I guess Ignis can go with Joseph down to the schools so that you guys can see the environment.
Well, I mean, I don't really care either way. So if I go with like either one, then well, that's fine.
It makes more sense to split the party into 2 and 2, because if you're going off on your own, the danger is way higher.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, so then Chimo will go with Barry, and Ignis will go with Joseph. So with that in mind, we'll go ahead and do that. I'll start with Barry first.
All right.
So that means that you're going to be heading to the pet store.
Yes. Let me actually pull up some notes here so I remember what part of the city that's in.
It's in the business district.
Yeah, that stands to reason. Damn. Every time we have a session, I forget how to navigate your Discord to find the notes I want. There it is, the city of Diadem.
Sorry, I tried my hardest to make it easy, but even I have limits.
Yeah, no, that's not on you. That's just on me being, the way that I am.
All right, well, we'll do your half first, and then we'll go to the other 2 in a few.
Alrighty, yeah, sure. Nice, good breakfast. Fry up some eggs. We probably don't even have eggs.
You guys are going to need to make a trip to the grocery store at some point.
Yeah, I might also do that on the way since we're going to the business district. Surely there's a grocery store. Surely that's where the grocery store is. Grocery store is.
Actually, the grocery store is in the essentials district.
Okay.
It's fine.
Essentially, yeah, it's not that far away. I mean, this whole city isn't even that big. You can walk from end to end in a day, in less than a day.
So let's see. We'll go ahead and take you to the pet store. Here we go. The tan brick building is fairly plain on the outside. It has a couple window displays full of baby animals that are waiting to be adopted, and there's a sign hanging over the door with a cartoon cat and dog face. It's also the first store that you've seen that doesn't seem to have some kind of amount of physical damage on or around it.
Oh, I guess the Marauders don't touch the pet store.
Chimo just kind of raises an eyebrow at you and goes, that or the person who runs it knows what they're doing.
Either one. Alrighty, let's take a look on in here.
Walking inside, you see a pretty traditional-looking store with a few aisles full of basic animal supplies, most of which are separated by species. Cat, dog, fish, reptile, bird, all the basics are there.
Okay, well, I heard birds, so that's a good sign.
Mm-hmm. In the distance, on the far right, you see the distinctly indigo hoodie of Caelum behind the counter and register, and it looks like he's talking to someone. And whatever the conversation's about, he seems enamored by the topic.
Well, Barry's a good old boy. He's no eavesdropper. I'm just gonna go over there. I'm like, okay, so bird supplies is over here, so let's see if they got anything for chickens.
Do you have a resources by chance?
Do I have a resources, you said?
Yeah.
Like the stat? Definitely not.
Okay. Tell you what, give me a straight roll then. Let's see if you find anything of interest.
Oh boy. It's that time.
Okay.
You know what? I expected it to go so much worse.
You know what? That's
So I'll
actually
take
not bad. You do manage to find a couple of basic-sized bags of chicken feed, and it's a little bit odd-looking. The food looks to be a strange, colorful mix of orange, green, and brown, but it does look like chicken feed.
Chima, what'd you think here? This is just about the only stuff I can find for chicken feed. All the rest of this stuff is for, like, parrots and such.
You know what? Let me give a resources roll for her as well, just to see if she finds anything better.
She immediately points to, like, the organic stuff that's, like, twice the price.
Nope, she didn't find anything better than you did.
Okay. Phew. That was close.
She does notice, though, nothing here about a chicken pen or a doggy door, though.
Well, maybe we could just inquire to Caelum about that one once we get up to the register. Nothing else, I'm a big fella. We just buy the supplies, I'll build it myself.
When you approach the counter, both Caelum and the person he's talking to, who has a very familiarly distinct brown trench coat and hat, look to your direction, but the person in the coat and hat disappears.
Well, my apologies. I didn't mean to interrupt y'all's conversation.
And that's when Caelum suddenly has what looks like a moment of inspiration in his eyes. Oh, right, of course. So, how can I help you today?
Well, we'd like to purchase these here 2 bags of chicken feed. I imagine I just got one on each shoulder, just poof, poof on the counter.
2 bags of chicken feed? I can do that. That'll be 2 Z a piece for a grand total of 4.
Alright, before we purchase that, I'd like to also ask a question. Do you do, like, chicken coops here, or, like, maybe like a doggy door or something along those lines?
Chicken coop or doggy door? You know, I just might have one. Let me take a look in the supply room.
Yeah, you got it, buddy.
He trots down from behind the counter and walks over to a far corner of the room where there are 2 doors, one marked keep out and one marked storage area. It takes him about 5 minutes, but he comes back out and he's carrying what looks like a large pile of metal wire. And he flops it onto the counter. You're in luck, I just happened to finish this one earlier today.
Awesome. You make these yourself? Wait a minute.
I have a lot of free time for my hobbies.
I mean, I've seen you in 3 different places on opposite ends of the city. I'm shocked you have any free time.
I have nothing but time.
I see. That... I say this bit out of character. That sounds like something that could be read into, but Barry isn't going to do that.
It might come up later if you bother to ask, so just, I guess, keep it in mind, whatever.
Yeah. Mental note. Barry will remember that, telltale shit.
It's like a Fallout note. Barry will remember that.
Exactly. Yeah.
I might see if I can grab that font and actually make that just as a joke.
Barry will remember that. Alright, yeah,
He decides to sell it to you for 10 more Z, so it'll be a grand total of 14.
Alrighty, I'll hand over the money.
Caelum actually looks over the chicken feed. When did you guys get a chicken?
Well, you see, that's kind of a complicated story. You see, when we first arrived in this city, we was beset upon by Lucky and his marauders, because, he wanted to, quote, give us the welcome. Yeah, we gave him something in return, if you know what I'm saying. Jail time.
Oh, that was you? I read about that in the paper.
Oh yeah, we beat his ass twice. And then my good friend Shimo right here, I'm gonna force Shimo. I imagine Shimo's just behind me. I'm gonna pat Shimo on the back and get one for my friend Shimo over here. Testified very vigorously at his trial, which was enough to get him put away.
She just kind of looks at Barry for a second, and then she turns back to Caelum. I said my piece. Hopefully he rots. And Caelum's just like, okay. Quick question, what breed is it? Some of these foods aren't exactly meant for all breeds.
Oh, it's a Rhode Island Red.
You see him pause for a second, and then look up to you. Rhode Island Red? Looks back down to the bag, and just looks through it and says, no, nothing here that wouldn't fit a Rhode Island Red.
Thank goodness. I'm gonna be real with you. I've never actually, you see, my folks when I was growing up kept like chickens and such, but I just gathered the eggs. I never knew about, what types of food they all had to have and such. So I'm really glad I managed to pick the right bag.
Most chicken feed tends to be generic, but some breeds have more specific needs. I made this particular brand to be generic across as many species as possible.
Ooh, you really do have a lot of free time.
You have no idea. Alright, that'll be a grand total of 14Z. And this will be enough food to keep him fed for about 2 months?
Awesome. You know what?
I'll give you 1 minute, I'll be right back.
I'm gonna flip him an additional Z through the air. It's like, you know what? That one's for you for all your hard work. We appreciate you.
He catches all of it and just drops it into his little register. Alright, well, if you happen to need anything else of special note, do let me know.
Alright, thank you. I'm just gonna throw everything up on my shoulders and give him a wave and head on out.
On your way out the door, you hear a voice in the background near the register. Is he gone?
Barry breathes a sigh because he knows exactly who that voice is, but he's just gonna keep on walking.
Alright, well, we'll say that for the rest of this quick little bit, you head back to the house and build your brand new chicken coop. Sound fair?
Yes.
Alright, and just for the sake of argument, give me a craft roll to see how long it takes.
Okay, yeah, that's not a skill I have.
That's fine. It's not a particularly difficult thing. He made it to be relatively easy to combine. I just want to see if you roll so bad that it ends up looking like a fucking haunted house.
Can Barry read basic instructions?
Oh.
No.
Okay, so...
I don't need these instructions.
Just for the sake of argument, let's see if Chimo can help make that a little bit easier. Oh, never mind. You're both equally terrible. Alright, we'll say that takes up the rest of your morning.
Amazing.
Does that sound fair to you?
Absolutely. Thumbs up. This is what I play TTRPGs for. Let's go.
Alright. Well, now that we've gotten that taken care of, I suppose the next objective on the list would be to go over to Ignis and Joseph going down to the local school area. Which school were you looking to go to? There's the elementary school, the middle school, the high school, the trade school, and the actual college.
The college?
Wanted to make sure.
Thank goodness. Imagine Joseph teaching in an elementary school.
Joseph does not have the mental energy at the moment to deal with other kids. I'm be real here, Chief.
Fair enough.
Reasonable.
Alright, so when you reach the school district, which is actually more or less fenced off by individual building and as a whole, all the buildings look relatively similar. Pale blue concrete walls, dark blue roofs as a whole, metal shingles, obviously, because, it makes more sense longevity-wise. And you do see a myriad of people running in and out of the buildings in various quantities. And the schools themselves look relatively clean, but you do see a few instances of property damage, a broken wall on the trade school. If you recall, that was actually brought up during the court case. Some tire marks in the parking lots of the elementary and middle school. And the college looks relatively fine, but you do see a broken window that's currently covered up by a metal sheet.
The Marauders are really going to town here.
So it seems.
The inside of the school basically mirrors this color scheme, mostly shades of blue, but there are some red and yellow floor tiles as part of the dedicated path to show you around. And you do see a guiding board that points out the direction of certain classrooms. There's about 20 different classes that are being taught in this particular building, but you do spot a sign that points out where the dean's office is.
Time for me to go and see this dean. You can wait outside the office, I suppose. Unless you want to actually sit with me for this. I'll take your vague silence as a no.
Oh wait, hold, I wasn't paying attention, my bad.
God damn it!
Dude.
Alright, hit the rewind button.
I'm sorry.
It's fine, it's fine.
Retry the dialogue, retry the speech check.
Yep.
Yeah.
Time to go in to see the dean. You can sit outside in the hallway and wait for me as I go into the office. Unless you want to actually sit with me for this.
I don't.
I swear you don't mind for a lot of things, and it's really weird. And this is coming from me, lad.
Well, I mean, I got nothing better to do, so.
It'd be one of those days, I guess.
I guess so. Alright, well, you find the dean's office pretty easily. It's a wooden door with a slightly transparent window on the front, and it's got the word Dean Dween written on it.
Well, shall we go in?
Me first, given that this is my interview. Joseph will open up the door to the dean's office.
The dean's office itself is relatively simple. The walls are more or less a grayscale with a yellow tile floors, the sandy orange yellow specifically. There's a couch in the corner, a couple of sofas nearby, and the desk, which holds a human male, a Mr. Dween, according to his placard on the table. He's a black man with short black hair, rounded glasses, and a really generic-looking pale blue button-front dress shirt. Oh, I expected you to knock.
Honestly, the door was unlocked.
I tend not to lock the door unless we're in a meeting, so I won't hold you to that one. So, how can I help you?
Joseph will sit in front of his desk. I'm here for the interview.
Right, you were looking to be a history teacher?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, well, I feel it's only fair to tell you that we already do have a history teacher, so even if we were to take you in, we'd have to start you off as something of a substitute teacher or a special guest speaker, but we could definitely look into giving you a position here. But I will need to see some credentials or some kind of proof of your ability to teach. Do you have any of that? You there, dude?
Yeah, sorry, I was just thinking of...
Oh, okay, if you need a moment to think.
Now that I think on it, I don't even think... I don't even think Joseph has a teaching license, now that I think of... Not...
You were just hoping you could walk in and just be a teacher.
But, I mean, he does have a medical license. He could be another nurse here.
Oh, that's an alternative.
I may not have the credentials at the moment for teaching, while I do have a lot of history to share. While I do have a wellspring of information on history to teach your students. Though believe it or not, I do have medical credentials in case, well, you need someone else in that, if you need an extra hand in that department.
You know, we do have a healthcare and medical field, and a teacher for that as well, so you could be useful there too. I would, of course, need to see some credentials for that as well.
Joseph will slide over his credential ID.
Okay, so you're fresh from the outside, I assume. This is definitely proof that you have experience in the field. We could probably use that kind of experience and do fairly well with getting you set up as a teacher, but there is a small issue. Since these credentials are purely from the outside and not the inside, it won't hold as much weight in here. But there might be a way that we can get you in here probably as soon as a few days from now. Are you familiar with any of our standardized testing systems at all?
As a foreigner here, I can't say I am, but...
I wasn't sure how long you'd been here. There's a test. It's called the Standardized Understanding of Material Test, the sub-test. Essentially, we could put you through that testing and get you set up here if you pass on either position. If you do well enough in both fields, we might even be able to get you a split job at where you help out both as needed.
I'm down for that.
All right. There is one problem, though. This testing is done through our Board of Educators, which is part of the City Hall building system, and that kind of documentation takes a while to get set up. I believe our minimum requirement of time for arranging that kind of test would be about a month.
I can spare a month, get some more sights in on this city as I wait.
Well, I was going to mention, there is one possibility that could get you in faster if you are really, really interested in this position.
And that would be?
Well, ordinarily it takes a month to go through the proper documented channels, but it is possible for a tenured teacher to administer the test themselves. And throughout our documentation, there is one teacher I know who would be interested in possibly administering that test for you. She's currently retired, but I do believe she'd be able to help you out, if you would like to go through that route.
I may as well explore all possibilities. Who is this woman?
Ah, damn it, I lost my place. I'm gonna need a moment. I'm sorry, I had it right in front of me, and my document closed on me.
God has lost his place. It's a dark day.
Well, this is surely a session where like none of us are paying attention.
Right, here we are. Sorry, I had to reopen it. I'm using this program called Sublime Text, and I'm still learning where everything is. She's technically retired, but she resides in the White Domain. Her name is Morana Snezhkov. He has to see your map and points out the location in the southwestern part of the Wall of Diadem for you to go to. If you talk to her and get her to arrange the test, you could be in as little as a week.
I've been to orange, pink, and silver so far of these gates. White was already on the checklist, but I have higher priority to see that one now.
Sounds good. Well, it was a pleasure talking to you. He stands up to offer you a handshake.
Joseph will surprisingly take it.
And he notices your little friend in the corner. And what about you? As long as you're here, were you interested in partaking in our classes or teaching?
Oh no, I actually have something else in mind.
He's a +1. Even without the Marauders, these streets have been a bit weird.
Then I will look forward to hearing a call back, hopefully from either you or our only tenured teacher in this entire district. So I will see you then.
Yeah, you too. Have a nice day.
Same to you. He sits back down and resumes writing out documentation on his desk.
And Joseph and Ignis will leave the college campus.
All right, well, since you got that information underway, where were you gonna go next?
You know what? Joseph and Ignis can just go back to the house and see if they want to go to the White Domain with us.
Sounds good. By the time you arrive, it'll probably be about midway through the morning, so Shimo and Barry will likely still be working on the chicken coop, but they'll be most of the way done by now. I think an hour or two is enough time.
Yeah.
Alright, so we'll say that right around the time you finish attaching the front gate is when the two of them show back up on the front door.
Oh, hey there, fellas. What you think of the new chicken coop?
Ah.
Yeah, it's just somewhere to put it where it won't wreak havoc on the house while we're gone.
And as it happens, this particular model is an indoor-outdoor combo, so if you wanted to, you could break it down, take it outside, rebuild it, and just leave them outside to get some sunlight.
Oh.
Well, if it works, it works.
Nice. It does.
This looks sturdier than a normal chicken coop as well. I could probably keep a Nazi captive in here.
Do you ever think about anything else that isn't your time in the wars?
I try, man. I try.
we gotta find you something in life you enjoy. Like, we gotta find you a hobby.
Joseph just getting more flashbacks like that one meme.
Joseph is trying his hardest, but it comes up, man. Well, hopefully I'll have something to distract myself, because I need to take a standardized test to see if I qualify for the teaching job. I should qualify for the medical or nurse job, but the wellspring of knowledge I have, I was thinking I could qualify as a teacher. We gotta go to the white domain of this city.
Ooh, that sounds exciting.
And given your love of exciting spectacles, I was wondering if you wanted to come along with us.
Well,
Chimo included, if she's up for it.
I'd be right happy to. Barry starts rubbing his hands like the evil Patrick Star gif. It's like, ooh yeah, it's gonna be fun.
You know, now that I think on it, if younger me saw me, he'd be asking me, why the fuck do you want to be a teacher? And I'd probably slap him for asking that.
Alright. How soon is you planning on leaving to the white domain here?
I was about to head off right now. I was just bringing it to your attention.
Alright, cool. I've been working assembling this thing and these clothes. Let me get on, change of clothes, and stick Sonny and his food and water bowls in the cage, and then we can head out.
Ooh, you know what? This would probably be a good time for Barry to wear the slightly warmer clothes that he bought, because we're going to the white domain. White is ice magic. Barry's smart enough to know this. I have a point in academics.
I am so glad you picked up on that. I was wondering if anybody was going to recognize that.
I mean, Joseph is already in warm clothing, so he wasn't going to worry about that.
Are you going to put on cool clothing when we go to the red domain? I asked this out of character. Have you thought about this?
Probably not.
Amazing. So I'm going to have to carry you back when you have a heat stroke.
Listen, Joseph's just gonna roll up his sleeves and deal with it.
Fair enough.
Hold on, give me a minute.
You know, I just realized something. Did you have the entire interview with the dean while we were wearing your mask?
Maybe.
He never takes it off.
You know,
we've never seen him without it, I don't think.
That's a fair point. It just occurred to me.
So hold on, we ate meals together. Do you just have it like awkwardly propped on your face where you can get food to your mouth when we eat meals, or do you take it off for meals?
He's just had it like positioned upwards so only his mouth is shown.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wait, hold up. That interview scene, now that I think on it more, with him wearing the mask, it's literally that fucking bit from like the 80s Ninja Turtles cartoon where Casey Jones goes into that office building like in nothing but a suit, but he's still got the hockey mask on.
Oh my
and he
god.
got the job.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
That's awesome.
That is so amazing. I hope someday that this game catches on and is used for shitpost material and somebody actually animates the scene of the plague doctor applying to be a medical teacher.
I hope we find, this is gonna sound weird, I hope we find Joseph a woman so we can hear Raven say the mask stays on during sex.
Oh my god.
Everything else can come off, but the mask stays on.
All right. Okay, so let's see. Chimo will probably just go wash her hands off of all the, metal and grease and whatnot that came from building that thing. Barry's changing into some warmer clothes. Joseph and Ignis, you two are basically just going to wait for them to get ready and then you'll head out?
Yep.
All right. Okay, so it's a bit of a trek to go from where you are since it's literally the opposite side of town that you were in beforehand. I find it odd. You guys have officially gone to the northwest, southwest, northeast, and southeast parts of the map. They are literally polar opposites on all four corners.
Yep.
You didn't plan that, did you?
How do we plan this, Nanashi?
Hell if I know. It's just seeming a little coincidental that you hit the four corners.
You're the one dropping the plot hooks.
I'm just saying, man, like, you literally hit the four corners. They are polar opposite from all four of each other.
Yeah.
Oh boy. It's just so
Hold on,
coincidental.
what did I miss the past minute?
I was just noticing that the four corners of the four domains you are visiting so far are literally equidistant from each other. Perfectly equidistant on the map.
Oh.
Alright, So,
Did we plan this?
so, when you reach the gate against the rock wall, this time the gate is a golden ring with a white magic wall, looking like a slow falling of snowflakes.
Ignis, you think if I threw you through there, you'd land in a nice soft pile of snow.
I swear to God,
We have to do this bit every time now.
I swear to God, I'm gonna give you a stunt that comes from doing this so much.
Who, me or Barry?
Yes.
I'll give you a combo stunt. I don't care.
Combo's done. Let's go.
You know what? Fuck it. We're doing it.
I wasn't offering. I was just saying, do you think if I did, you'd land in some snow?
It's a combat team up stunt.
Just
I figure he wants me to put the hurt on you.
draconian cannonball or something.
Let me. Okay. Do you want me to actually do it? Because if you ask nicely, Barry will throw you.
I mean, if he does, then most likely gonna be like a big pile of ice right in front of you. Which
Yeah, but to say
I
you're
might
either
have
going to
like,
land.
which I might-
There's either going to be a hilariously Ignis-shaped hole in the snow, or I'm just gonna throw you on like a frozen lake, and you're just gonna slide all the way to the other side, like we're playing curling.
Yeah, let's see what happens if it's alright.
All right.
Okay, I'm
Give me a
throwing this
physique
in
roll.
again. One hand on the waistband, one hand on his collar.
Wait,
1, 2,
wait,
3, heave.
Wait, hold on. Wait, what roll?
It's a physique roll, and Barry's the one that needs to make it.
Oh.
Oh, you made a great roll on that one, literally.
Maximum distance.
Well, the second you get through that magical wall, you immediately get struck by the wave of bitter cold, and you land face first into a mound of snow that immediately engulfs your entire body except for your feet from the ankles down.
I'm gonna look at the rest of them. He asked.
Chimo just rolls her eyes and strolls inside.
Head on in.
Comedy.
Just like him, you were all struck by a wave of immediate bitter cold, the sound of crunching underneath your feet as you walk forward, and the sight of a field of white, sparsely interrupted by snow-covered trees and snow-capped hills in the distance.
With two small red feet sticking out of the snow.
Yep.
Reminds me of the marshes in Russia.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a huge fan of the cold, but this seems pretty downright pleasant. I should have bought a heavier jacket.
Wait, hold on. Is Ignis able to get out without some help?
You can climb out of the snow. It's not like super dense, so go right ahead.
I mean, he
Okay,
has
yeah.
fire. He could just also melt his way out.
That is true.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, I'll let you decide how to handle
was-
that one.
Are you cold-blooded, Ignis? You know what? Actually, hold on. Let me try that stance again. Wait a minute. I just had a thought. I'm gonna yank Ignis out of the snow.
You're just pulling him up by an ankle.
Yeah, it's like the flip him around, stand him up. I just had a thought. Are you cold-blooded? Does this weather bother you?
Well, I mean, I am a dragon.
That doesn't answer my question. It's yes or no.
Well, if I'm being perfectly honest, this doesn't bother me at all.
We can say that his fire blood gives him enough general thermal insulated heat to keep him going.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
And Chimo's just kind of looking around, like she doesn't even seem to mind the cold, which we can blame thanks to her
She's
icing.
ice magic.
Yeah.
I just caught on to that.
She is
I was
ice
so
agent.
wrapped up in like how spacey her magic was, and how a black hole would result from her and Miranda clashing.
Probably.
I totally forgot her thing is twofold. She is really good in ice and space magic.
It's part of her stunt. She has an icy and stellar nature. Alright, so, like I was saying though, you're not alone here. There are dozens of other people, and specifically speaking, behind you, the gate itself is actually attached to a massive wooden cabin, easily large enough to hold dozens of people. On your left, you see a single beaten path into the snow full of hoofprints and tire tracks leading deep into the distance, beside which sits a massive igloo being constructed by a team of people. In front of you, there are a few groups of people wearing ice skates, mostly couples dancing and gliding across the frozen river of ice. And on the right, you see several children have grouped off for a good-sized snowball fight, being overseen by, you assume, their parents.
Now, Joseph, look at all this. Tell me that this doesn't spark a little bit of warmth in your heart, bring a smile to your face. Don't you make no wartime references now. You'd be happy, damn it.
It's difficult, not gonna lie.
Like Barry's gonna do that thing where he pinches the bridge of his nose, except it doesn't really work.
Oh,
Because,
okay.
chitinous exoskeleton.
Okay, I will admit, the sight is very pleasant. I do enjoy that I didn't fight a whole war for nothing, especially with people celebrating like this.
Hey,
You know what? I'll take that one.
It's a
I
start.
know
Hold
I
on.
said no wartime references, but you know what? I'll take that one. Fair enough.
I assume there's at least someone nearby that he can, like, tap on the shoulder and talk to.
Oh yeah, like I said, there are dozens of people outside. You could go into the cabin, you could go talk to the people at the igloo, you could go talk to the ice skaters, you could go talk to the snowball fighters.
Yeah, Joseph will go up to one of the igloo builders.
You see 8 different people all working together to craft this igloo brick by brick, compacting the snow and shaping it together rather than just extending the dome wall out of a random hill of snow. They are actually building this. And when you approach, you really can't tell who or what these people are underneath all the winter wear, but one person in ski goggles and a blue heavy-duty coat stops building a block to talk to you. And she says, "Hey there," which tells you that she's at least female.
Yes, sorry to bother your construction work. I'm actually looking for someone who lives in this domain, and I was hoping that maybe you would know where to point out location-wise. I'm looking for a retired school teacher, Morana.
She takes one look at you all and says, hang on. She elbows her neighbor, who's wearing a black snowsuit ensemble, and tells them that she is going inside to talk to you guys, and he gives them a thumbs up. And she says, "Come on inside. We can probably talk easier in here." And it is significantly warmer inside this igloo, mostly because it was made genuinely well, and there's a little bit of a roaring bonfire in the middle. She takes off her coat and is wearing a thinner jacket underneath, and she says, "That's much better. Now, I'm sorry, you were saying you were looking for someone?"
Morana, a retired school teacher, was told that I could talk to her about taking a test from her for teacher work, given that I'm not exactly from around here.
I kind of assumed that based on the way you were dressed. Morana, that name does ring a bell. Oh, you're looking for the domain master.
Domain master?
Yeah, Morana's the domain master around here. She and her little friend come by here once in a while for supplies. I don't really recall where she lives, though, but if you go inside the cabin and ask, I'm sure somebody there will be able to help you out.
Well, that's a start, but I'm more so surprised about the domain master title. I just heard she was a retired teacher.
Okay, I don't know much about teachers, but I do know domain masters tend to be around for quite a while.
Sounds like it.
But yeah, you give that somebody in there a talk, and they'll probably point you in the right direction.
Well, it's nice to be able to get some directions in this confusing place. Thank you for your time.
You all are newbies, aren't you?
Would you believe us if we told you that you're not the first person to ask that after first contact?
Yeah, I believe that.
If anything, I'd be more surprised if someone didn't ask that upon first contact.
If I had a drink for every time that was the first question asked, I'd probably be able to get drunk by now.
Alright, well, she wishes you good luck before throwing her jacket back on and resuming building the igloo with her friends. So I assume you guys are going inside the cabin now?
Yep.
Seems so.
Well, the entrance to this cabin that the gate is attached to is a giant set of heavy wooden oak doors, and behind them is a small walk-in room with a second set of identical doors. But this room is much warmer than the outside, especially when those big wood doors close behind you. It basically acts like a heat trap. But when you open the second set, you are immediately struck by the warmth of a large, cozy fire, the soft sounds of winter-style jazz playing in the background, and the warm sense of burning hickory wood and hot cocoa. Now, the massive one-room building is centered around a colossal roaring fire contained inside a black metal cage leading up to a metal pipe through the ceiling, and surrounding it are several rounded rows of wooden seats built into the floor, and the seats elevate the farther from the heat, kind of like theater seating, except the show is the fire. And in the far corners, farthest from the door, are a pair of kiosks, and the left one has a longer line than the right, but right between them is a slightly elevated stage with a live jazz band.
Stage, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, hey, you like jazz?
I should have known you were going to do that.
Barry asked that in characters like, y'all like jazz?
I prefer
Well, I mean-
classical.
I never really listened to music growing up.
Yes, I get it. I'm already living up to the old man stereotypes, but come on. There are some bangers in that category.
I mean, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. I appreciate some classic music from time to time, but of course that's your immediate answer.
Chimo has decided, instead of just engaging in this conversation, she's actually going to take a seat in front of the fire for a few minutes and warm up. Do what you want. I'm gonna warm my toes.
So you do get cold.
Nobody can tolerate the ice on their feet for very long. Not even me.
You see, we're all learning so much about each other today.
I love your commitment to that bit.
Yes, we're stuck together. Like, we're stuck with each other for the foreseeable future. We might as well be friendly.
Fair enough. So where are you guys gonna go? You can also have a seat. You got the kiosks and you got the jazz band if you're interested.
Honestly, Barry bought a jacket for situations like this. But I'm going to make the executive decision and say the jacket he got was not thick enough, and he's really cold, even if he's not willing to admit it. So he's probably going to sit next to the fire with Chimo.
That's fine.
Joseph may as well too.
All right.
Ignis is just gonna go to the kiosk.
Which one? The one with the longer line on the left or the shorter line on the right?
What's the difference?
The one on the left is where the food smell's coming from.
Left is the long line, right?
Yep.
Fuck it, we're doing it anyways.
Tell you what, give me a quick notice roll because I want to see if you realize something. You actually haven't given me a notice roll today.
Yeah, I don't think I've given you a notice. Oh wait, no, I actually did give one notice roll throughout any session.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I've got notice rolls for the others, and we'll see if you do this one decently well.
We got any bonuses on notice? So this is just a straight roll. And damn it.
That's fine. Let's see. You wait in the line of the left kiosk, and the line is actually moving pretty fast. They get through 6 people in probably less than 5 minutes. When you reach the front, a white foxman with a silver ponytail in a white dress shirt, a black vest, and a white name tag reading Oja is running the kiosk expertly, casually just strolling between 2 different hot drink machines. He hands off 2 cups of cocoa and a plate of cookies to those in front of you and smiles to you as they walk away. You see the overhead menu shows he's selling multiple varieties of hot chocolate, coffee, fresh baked goods, and even some meat treats like jerky. What can I get for you?
Before I look at the menu, you said his name was Oja?
Ouja.
I could make a joke here,
It's up to
but
you.
I'm gonna refrain myself. What?
It's up to you. I don't care. We're all here to have fun, right?
Yeah, but I'm gonna refrain myself from doing so.
That's fine. That's your call.
Do it, you coward.
You know what? Maybe I won't now. What if it turns out that he's a criminal?
Oh. Oh, I just caught that.
I don't. What's the joke here?
Okay, so for a little bit of context, well, I'm into Common Writer. Well, anything related to related to Tokusatsu. And when I heard the name Oja, my first immediate thought was Common Writer Oja from Ryuki, who, fun fact, is a little criminal.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But this one just seems to be the name of a short little fox dude.
Yeah, I just thought it was like a funny coincidence.
That's fair.
There's always a swiper among foxes.
Okay. Now, Ignis will take a look at the menu and then, well, I'll just get a hot chocolate, please.
One hot chocolate. Any special ingredients? Marshmallows, sprinkles, candy cane?
Yes, marshmallows.
All right. You see him just run over to a legitimate professional grade hot chocolate making machine, and it pours out. He swirls the chocolate as it comes down and then adds the marshmallows as it's pouring in. A couple small ones, and then he tops it with a quarter cut large one on top, slides in a candy straw, and hands it to you. That'll be 1Z.
Just get some the Z.
And right when you do that, the jazz band finishes its song, and everyone starts to applaud. Their fantastical music. So, going back to the other three, though, when you sit down, the seats are all thickly woven cushions built into a wooden rounded frame, and the seats and the wood are all warm to the touch, and some even have spaces in between large enough to accommodate food and drinks. Now, as you're sitting there, though, you're approached by a buff, pale blue and white husky man in a bright red sweater, and he's carrying his own cup of cocoa. Nothing like roaring flame and hot cocoa to take chill out of bones, am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I hear the accent and all I'm thinking of, Nico, cousin, let's go bowling.
I'm trying my hardest. I'm not the greatest when it comes to accents.
Yeah, I needed to input GTA 4 meme anyway.
That's fine. You see him take a seat in the bench across from you, and you see him immediately just drink the entire cup in a single go. And this is a decent-sized cup, by the way. Pardon my being rude. I saw you come in. You are new of the faces in this domain, yes? Are you in need of guide dog, perhaps?
Joseph, this sounds like someone you'd be looking for.
You wouldn't happen to know where a woman named Morana is, correct?
Morana. Oh, I have not seen the main master in many days, but I know where house is. I could give lift to you and your friends, yes?
I'm sorry, the accent is just killing me.
I'm trying, I'm sorry.
It's fantastic. I mean, it's better.
Listen, Nanashi, you just gave me... It's fine, because it gets funnier when you imagine his sections in, like, the animation style of American Dad.
Fair enough.
Really. Yeah, I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
It's utterly fantastic.
By now, I think that Ignis would show up with his own hot drink.
Yeah.
Alright, so will you be accepting his help?
I mean, we may as well. He's the only other lead we have.
Alright, well, when he sees that you're accepting his help, he stands up and, pounds his chest to get his throat cleared. I am Exilov, a rover of the snowy road. I run, snow taxi. It's much safer than going on foot. I give you and yours rides for 5Z each.
Well, I mean, doesn't sound too bad.
Barry's just gonna throw him the money.
Honestly, cheaper than back home.
So that's Barry just throws him 20Z. Yes, sir. Thank you.
You hear a familiar childlike voice standing right behind you. What are you guys doing here?
Barry's like, don't tell me it's who I think it is. Barry's gonna turn around.
Right behind you is a young human boy with visible white hair under an indigo fedora in a jazz player's outfit, his white name tag reading Caelum.
Please tell me he's got like a saxophone.
Actually, no. I was checking to see if Ignis noticed this earlier. He was playing piano.
Amazing. Barry's an awesome. Didn't I just see you like 4 hours ago at the pet store?
That's why I was asking. I just saw you.
Okay, kid, how many jobs did they got you running around doing?
This isn't a job. I kinda just like playing piano. I volunteered to help the jazz band.
So it's more so something you enjoy than something you're obligated to do.
If I was obligated to do it, I probably wouldn't do it. I enjoy having fun more than I enjoy doing what I'm supposed to.
Oh.
How?
In the amount of time it took you to go home and set up the chicken coop, he would have had enough time to walk straight here.
I'd be surprised.
Barry's doing the math in his head. He's like pointing, like, we was just over there, and then
Joseph puts a hand on Barry's bicep. Just don't question it. Don't question it.
You don't understand, Joseph. I just bought the chicken coop and chicken feed from him.
I understand, which is why I'm saying don't question it.
I'm questioning it, brother.
Yeah.
I am questioning it.
Yeah, that's actually pretty accurate, all things considered.
We don't have the answers to everything, sadly.
You know what? We certainly can have the answers to everything. Caelum, how do you have so much free time that you just walk from the store to here where we happen to be, and you happen to be playing here to play a jazz band? What's your day-to-day life like? I'm really curious now. Like, forgive me if I'm prying too much, but like... I
have to go back to the jazz band now, and you see him very quickly retreat back to the stage before he has a chance to even be forced to answer any of your questions.
I think I'm probably too hard.
Well, that was ominous.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna ask him that again. I feel a little bad now. But at the same time, like, you understand, it's very confusing. Why is he everywhere we have been?
Sounds like the answer to that is a topic he isn't exactly privy to share with others. Kinda like me.
Wait a minute. I've had a thought. Nanashi, do you remember when we went and saw the really shitty movie on day one?
Yeah.
Caelum was in that movie. We established this.
He was in the desert scene.
He was in the desert scene. When was the movie filmed?
If I recall correctly, I believe I said the movie was filmed about 3 years ago.
Did he look 3 years younger or older compared to the movie versus now?
The quality was a little shitty, but he looks about the same.
Joseph, you might need to be the one. You might have to be the one to talk to that boy. I have a hunch that he like you might have some timey-wimey nonsense about him.
I mean, now that you mention it, we watched that awful film together, and well, I did notice that there even through the grainy footage and low quality effort, he didn't look a day older. You don't think maybe?
See, I don't think if he does have some timey-wimey nonsense like his, I don't think yours is the same as his. Because you're in one place all the time, right? As far as I'm aware. He's everywhere at the same damn time.
I'm in one place being held together by forces beyond my comprehension, so I've just lived with it. But yeah, it is a bit odd.
Like, I really
the
want...
math is not mathing.
At the same time, I don't want to make him uncomfortable by pressing about it too hard. And he definitely did not seem to want to answer. But I really want to know. Let's go meet your damn brain master. My brain hurts.
Your brain is hurting from the mental math, that's understandable, but if your hunch is true, then I may have to be the one person of the group to address it to them.
Yeah. Don't make him uncomfortable though. To be rude. I don't wanna make his life any harder than it might be with being everywhere at the same damn time and the implications of such.
Well, I mean, I could get information some other way.
Yeah, can I just like put a finger to your mouth halfway through that sentence? No. Come on, no, Ignis, we're not sending you to spy on the child.
Damn it.
We're not sending you to spy on the child. If you get caught, that has very serious consequences.
I'm be real here, Chief. While it may be your job as reconnaissance for the group, given how good you are stealth-wise, viewing someone peeping at a child from the outside window without context isn't, well, something you want on your record.
It's not a good look, Chief. I've seen some wrestlers go down to some bad stuff before.
You know, honestly, I didn't think of that.
Let's go meet this domain master. I want to move on from this topic of conversation.
Yeah, Exelov's just kind of been standing there waiting for you to finish your conversation. So he opens the door for your group, which immediately exposes all four of you to the harsh cold again. But this time out front, you see a horse-drawn carriage, easily big enough to hold about 10 different people, pulled by two very healthy Clydesdale horses in weatherproof blankets. Exelov opens up the door and holds it open for all of you.
Well, you know, ladies first and age before beauty.
Shimo rolls her eyes and goes in first.
Very classy.
Hey, mama raised her boy right. I got manners most of the time.
By the way, there is a sign on the side of his cart. It's called Exelov's Carriage Rides, 5Z per person, kids ride free.
Ignis, how old are you?
I would rather not reveal that.
Ignis, how tall is Ignis?
I don't even think we came up with a height, in all honesty.
Nah, but we can say he's about the 6-foot range. There's no real reason to know his height at the moment.
Damn it! I wanted to see if I could pass him off as a child, get 5C back.
Funny. Considering you guys are running a little low on coin, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
But getting back on track.
Yeah, well, too late for that.
This Ed and Eddie ass scam is not gonna work.
Nope. So he gets everyone inside the sealed-in carriage, out of the elements, and you start to trot down the beaten path. Now, the view out from the windows outside is something out of a Christmas card. There's light snowfall as far as the eye can see, speckled by a few sporadic trees, all surrounding the massive frozen lake. And after about 5 minutes, you hear a knock on the window of your carriage. Good news! Master is home today.
Isn't that convenient?
He points ahead of him to one particular spot in the distance where the snow is falling very hard in this otherwise flurrying area. Where a monster goes, surely it snows. Is reactitia, reflex. Does not do it on purpose.
Hopefully we can get this done and over with quickly. This place is giving me the weirdest memories. I never thought I had in the back of the vault for a while.
It takes a few minutes, but he eventually stops at the top of a snow embankment at about a 45-degree angle leading into a small flat valley from a good 10-foot drop. And the snow in front of you is at its thickest, collecting into the valley heavily, kind of like a little lake entirely made of snow. But you do see something of a path in the distance leading to a somewhat obscured house in the snowfall. You also spot a few other vehicles in a nearby clearing just outside the edge of the heavy snowfall, and they all look occupied with various couples, and a few of them look to be enjoying each other's company.
Testing the suspension.
Wait, the way you phrased that made me think of something completely different.
Testing the suspension, you know.
Uh-huh. This is far as I go, comrades. Master house is on far end of valley. This path only way in or out. You want I wait here for pickup?
Do we have to pay you another 20Z to take us back?
No, I only charge 4 for a return trip. You've been very nice.
Okay. Whew, thank goodness. Okay. Whew, okay. Yeah, it shouldn't take us too long, probably, Joseph.
Yeah, he'll take your coins and he'll just wait at the top of the embankment for you guys. He opens the door for you and lets you see the path for yourself, and the snowfall here is so dense. You ever see those scenes where it's like the rain is falling in this one spot only, and like fuck this guy in particular? That except snow.
Christ.
Oh yeah, the weird memories are kicking in.
When is it not weird memories with you?
Do you have... Listen,
well-
I mean this in the nicest way possible. Do you have good memories?
Okay, this weird memory isn't on the trenches though, lad. I'm remembering the time I had to punch an elf.
An elf?
What?
What?
No, you know what? No, never
No.
mind. I don't want to know.
No. Let's not. This is gonna take
Can I just throw Joseph over my shoulder? Come here, we're gonna get you a damn job. Come on. I have thrown Joseph over my shoulder, and I'm walking towards the cabin.
You slide down the incline into the pathway inside the little valley, and now that you're getting closer to it, you do spot something kind of unusual. There is a row on each side of the pathway of 6 snowmen surrounding the path, and each one of the snowmen are facing the center of the path.
Well, that's so inviting.
Slightly ominous. Hold on, I need to test something. I want to put Joseph down. I'm going to... It's like, hold on, just entertain me for a moment. I read way too many sci-fi novels. I'm gonna turn everyone away from the snowmen so we're not looking at them, wait about 5 seconds, and then turn back around to look at the snowmen.
Still there.
They haven't moved at all.
Nope.
You thought Okay, well, I do appreciate that you were testing for weeping angels. I don't think they have that.
How the hell do you even know what those are, damn it?
You live as old as I am, you catch up on the times.
That's
I'm not a fossil,
fictional
you know?
creature. It is a fictional enemy. I just have irrational fears.
Fictional
Funny
creature
how-
from a TV show as old as me, lad.
You and me, you know
Funny
what?
how,
You know what? This is a thing you and I can talk about later. We need to talk about some Doctor Who. It's fantastic. I'll say what we're referencing.
By the way, in this
Hold on.
universe, I imagine Doctor Who would be an owl.
Of course. Well,
Shut
no, he's a
up.
different animal every time he regenerates.
Exactly, but in this incarnation, the one I'm thinking of, David Tennant, I just imagine him being an owl.
Crap,
Hold
what
on.
year is it again?
I was
What?
Yeah, it would be David Tennant about this time.
Mm. So what were you gonna say, Raven?
I was gonna say, because I remember Doctor Who, didn't it start in like the 50s or the 60s?
It
or
did. It was
earlier
originally
than
in
that?
black and white.
Yep.
Yeah,
It ended at some point, and then it got rebooted in about 2008.
Uh-huh.
because I'm sure that Joseph would have caught on to it, like, outside of the army.
Probably. But,
Of course, Weeping Angels, I don't think were a thing until the 11th Doctor, which means we just committed a paradox.
actually, the 11th Doctor would be David Tennant.
Oh no, okay. The War Doctor aside, by technicality, David Tennant is the 10th.
Well, let's not get into that. We'll be here all day.
Also, right, Don't Blink was with David Tennant.
Yep.
Okay, yep, we can continue now. I'm good.
Okay,
I'm
so...
sorry, you brought out, I was gonna say you brought out the sci-fi nerd in me. I brought out the sci-fi nerd in me, because I'm the one testing the snowmen for Weeping Angels.
It's fine. So, back to the point, though. Path, Snowman, what you doing?
Walking forward, I reckon.
All three of you?
Oh, did Chimo stay behind?
Sorry,
I
I'm saying all three of you because I'm piloting Chimo.
Ah.
Even she's a little bit concerned about the convenience of the snowmen staring in the middle of the pathway.
There's gotta
Hold
be
on.
this
Hold
is
on.
either gotta be the fanciest decoration piece or the most elaborate security system.
Well, only one way to find out.
Let's go.
So, I'm going to need all of you guys to give me an athletics roll.
Of
Is it
course.
to trudge through the snow?
Okay, Chimo rolled an overall... Well, Chimo rolled an overall -1 because she does have a +2 in her athletics. I forgot to account for that.
Well, I don't have an athletics roll, so.
No, but you got stealth, which
I-
you can use in place of athletics.
Oh yeah, true. I keep on forgetting that. So what do I have in stealth? +2, so that's a +3.
No, your stealth is a +3, I thought.
No, it's a +2. Or did
What is
we?
your +3 then?
Yeah, I don't have F.
Oh no, it is. Oh no, stealth is a +3. My bad.
It's fine. it's
Yeah, I
fine.
was about to say.
Okay, so your roll would be a +3.
Yeah, well, +4. Because I rolled an average of +1.
Okay.
Wow,
Ooh.
cool.
Okay, well, Joseph is struck in the back of the head by a solid impact of something cold before a shrill voice pops out from an angle that you aren't looking at, screaming, "Attack!" And every snowman's head suddenly explodes open, and your group is struck by 5 attacks each, and each one of you are
Wait.
going to take 0 damage.
Wait, I got a +4.
We just
Wait,
got
because you were pelted with snowballs thrown by a gang of hidden children.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, these kids laid out an ambush that effectively? Oh,
Well, I
buddy,
mean-
you best believe Barry's about to return fire.
I mean, I effectively rolled a +4, I will say. But well, since
We'll
it did
say
0
that you
damage, it won't
specifically
matter.
didn't get hit by any of them, which means that all of them just got bombarded by snowballs except for you. I'm willing to allow that. You did roll well enough.
You just Matrix
Okay.
dodged a
Yeah,
bunch of-
I'll give you that one.
Just
I should have
snowballs.
accounted for that. That's on me. But after the initial excitement, the children see their victims, being your group, and suddenly become upset, climbing out of the snowmen and just kind of walking around and starting to collect the snow. One little brown bear girl in a pink coat and matching hat walks up, pouting a little. "I'm sorry, we thought you were someone else."
It's no problem.
Here, Barry gonna make himself a snowball. I'm gonna hand it to Logo. Come on, I'm fair game. Come on. Barry's always down for a snowball fight.
She takes the snowball and actually just smushes it into your face.
You know what? That works.
She actually does smile a little when you do that. And she points to the house in the distance, the exact same house that you guys were already heading toward. The nice people play with us all the time, so we wanted to do a surprise. And now all the children are actually working together in teams to rebuild the snowmen.
The kid gotta relay the ambush. Oh, that's great. Hey, can I give him a hand? Can I help him roll up some bigger snowmen?
You are more than welcome to do that. In fact, all of you are if you want. I'll let you all roll craft rolls if you want.
Ooh, that's not a stat I have.
Well, I was gonna have Ignis join as well.
Okay, how about you, Joseph?
Joseph is just gonna stand and watch, but you do notice that his mask is up slightly, and there is a slight smile at the scene.
Oh, we got him to smile.
Yeah.
I had a feeling that's what it would take, and I am so glad it worked out. So, give me a craft roll. I know you already rolled a craft roll earlier, but since this is a different type of material, I'm gonna let you roll again, Barry.
Yeah, that's reasonable. Let's see. I'm calling a -1.
Oh.
Damn yeah! Hell yeah!
Barry's good with snow.
And-
Look, Barry's strong. He can roll the biggest snowball you've ever seen.
And how about you, Ignis? What are you rolling?
Let's see.
Okay.
A mediocre.
All right. Well, between the three of you and the children working together, you actually reassemble all the snowmen in, let's say, less than 20 minutes, which is pretty damn good. In fact, you see Chimo lightly weaving her magic to help rebuild the snowmen, because even she, can't be cruel to children. Nobody can be that cruel to children.
No, definitely not.
And after you get them all packed back in, you seal each one inside the head of the snowman, and they just kind of wait.
Make sure they have some air holes.
There's an easy solution for that. Instead of giving them eyes of coal, make the eyes into open holes.
Oh yeah. All right. So
Well,
you know
that
what?
was
I guess
fun.
the best- Yeah.
So what were you gonna say, Raven?
I was just gonna ask if Barry's gonna point out the smile.
Nah, Barry was way too invested in helping.
And even if he
notice.
did, I think he would have just taken the silent victory.
Yeah, probably.
Fair.
All right. So after another minute of walking after you pack the kids back into their little snowman trap, you spot a pair of people in front of the house having a conversation like the cold does not bother either of them. One of them is a tall, dark cat woman with long dark hair and braided twin tails, in a spacious and open red robe-like dress trimmed in thick white, cinched with a gold bow over a tighter blue leotard. Very, very minimal clothing for snow. The other one is a younger-looking deer boy about a foot shorter than her, even with the antlers, in a black sweater stopping above the knee and thick black boots stopping below the knee, both of which are trimmed in white fluff.
I'm having certain thoughts at the description, but I'm going to opt to not say any of them.
That's fine. Now, the two of them spot you approaching, but the deer boy immediately hides behind the taller cat woman while she smiles warmly, arms crossed. Well, hello there, new faces. How can we help you?
You're Moranis, correct? I mean, Morana. You know what I mean.
I knew what you meant, don't worry. Why, yes, I am. My name's Morana, and this is... She turns behind herself to see that the deer has disappeared, replaced by a rather large chunk of snow. The best disappearing act you never saw, apparently.
Talk about deer in the headlights.
She actually looks around for a moment, then points to a nearby tree and launches an ice spike at one of the high branches, causing a pile of snow to fall from it, as well as the very deer that disappeared. He just falls face first into the snow.
Listen, I get it. We look hardened and not approachable, but we're not here to cause any trouble.
Oh, I can tell. Little darling's just very skittish. She waltzes over and grabs the deer, carrying him over her shoulder like he weighed nothing, and then looks back to your group. Let's get out of the cold and chat, shall we?
That'd be very nice.
Morana invites you into their home, a spacious 2-story log cabin. The inside's quite lavish. The walls are warm blue and the floor is wooden aside from a large circular deep green carpet. Living room has 2 dark red couches and a pair of chairs surrounding a coffee table near a roaring fireplace. Now she places the deer boy in a seat on the couch and takes the other right beside him, reaching over and just petting him between the antlers, no differently than he were like an actual animal. Alright, well, now that we have a little privacy, as you assumed, my name is Morana, and this is Whitaker, the domain master.
What?
And when do you say that what in character, by the way?
It wasn't intended to be, but you know what? Sure, Burr's like, wait, what?
And Whitaker flinches hard when you do, pouting a little and just nodding slowly.
Excuse me, I didn't mean any offense. Just when we asked in town about a Marana, we were just told come see the domain master. So, logically speaking, we would have thought Marana was the domain master.
That is essentially how we've set it up. It's a bit of a long story, but first off, please understand, he's very upset with himself. He lost something very precious to him about a month ago. It was actually stolen from him. He was overseeing a snowball fight, and the marauders started harassing the children. Something about starting their misery early. He fought his hardest to keep them safe, but one of them took a kid as hostage, and he traded his precious little treasure for their safety. After they let the kids go, they also ganged up on him when he couldn't defend himself. They beat him down and ripped up his clothes, ransacked our house. And since the children were around, he didn't want to scare them, so he just kinda had to let them. I wasn't around to help him at that moment, but if I had been, those snowbanks would have been painted red.
Man.
A girl with the same energy as me. I never thought I'd meet them.
And Chimo just raises an eyebrow listening to the story, because she is actually kind of interested now. The good news is, because they didn't understand how it works, all they got was a fancy little white short sword.
What?
Wait a minute.
Wait. We've seen that sword.
Have you?
Yeah, Lucky had it.
Twice, actually.
It wouldn't happen to be a burly, idiotic-looking ram man, would it?
Yes. Actually, if you saw today's morning paper, he's been imprisoned.
I haven't had a chance to read the paper. It's kind of hard to get it delivered out this far.
Well, thanks to a testimony from Chimo here, and my impassioned speech about how weird the justice system acted, Lucky is in jail now, but we still had no answers about the sword, and well, what really threw us off was the first time around he just slammed it into the ground because he didn't understand how it worked. Second time he claimed to understand how it worked, only to run away from the fight still.
You see that Whitaker is actually just kind of pouting a little at the conversation, but Morana's smiling just a little bit wider and just keeps trying to comfort him by petting his hair. Yes, he stole it instead of winning it, so he never understood how it worked.
It should be in like custody of the police force or the Thunder Force now. If y'all want to go get it.
I'll have a conversation. I believe it's Fulmo that's running that place still.
Yes, raccoon fellow with a lot of electricity about him.
There was another reason I came. I heard you used to be a teacher at the university.
Correct. I used to be a history teacher for a good 30 years.
I'm somewhat of a history buff myself, but I have more credentials in the medical field, so I may apply as a nurse if the history teacher part doesn't turn out in my favor. But I was told to talk to you as far as a quick way of seeing if I qualify.
They want me to administer a sum test for you.
Given that we're Outlanders, yep.
Okay. Well, I'll have to set up some things, but I can definitely do that for you. Give me a few days to get a few things organized. I have to take special care of this one here to make sure that he can stand being away from me for that long. He's essentially a victim of PTSD. The attacks are something that happens to him continuously, long before the Marauders were even around from what I can tell. He keeps getting picked on because he's so small and shy and seen as weak. I'm sure you can understand why that might be a problem.
It's horrible.
As someone with PTSD myself for differing reasons, I can relate. There's different methods to help you with that, though my preferred method wouldn't exactly help here.
Well, as it happens, one of those incidents is how we met. About 5 years ago, I was hanging out at the cabin down the road, and a flock of sad, angry children came flooding in, screaming and begging for help. I went down to go see what happened on a whim, and when I found him, he was a mess. I took care of him, and when he woke up, the first words out of his mouth were asking if the children were okay. Didn't even care about himself. But then he realized there was somebody in his home, and he wasn't exactly thrilled. And Whitaker his ears just kind of droop at the story and the memory.
Ignis just proceeds to look outside.
It took some coaxing, but I did earn his trust with some warm meals and helping clean the mess and giving him some of my old clothes. He eventually opened up, and the stories he told me, they're not mine to tell, but some of them are genuinely horrid. Though being a military man, I'm sure you've dealt with something on par.
There are some stories I don't exactly like to tell on the first encounter, though this winter wonderland, and seeing some of the kids playing reminded me of it reminded me that not everything going around in my noggin was all that bad.
You actually got Whitaker's attention with that one. He's looking at you, and his eyes are like wide. He doesn't seem as sad anymore listening to you having pleasant memories of children.
Joseph will, for the first time, completely take off his mask, revealing a Caucasian man in his 30s with short brown hair. There is 2 marks from a slash-based weapon across his face, over his right eye as he does this. You all got to see Joseph's face, yay! And now he's gonna tell you all a more happy story.
Y'all didn't know it, but I muted because I was going, yeah! I was yelling, yeah! In the background.
Well, a lot of my stories are definitely doom and gloom and come from the origin. This winter wonderland reminds me of a very special time during the Christmas truce. Ever heard about it? Well, because it ain't no myth, boy. Basically, it was a time where, around Christmas, us American soldiers and our allies were expected to play nice with the Nazis and their regime. Of course, given that no one was acting around this time, we managed to infiltrate some camps of theirs and save some kids. And seeing their faces shine so brightly as they looked onto the cold atmosphere, being locked in a dingy cage all day, waiting for death, their happy eyes as they realized that they can have their pleasant snowball fights again, today reminded me that I didn't fight because I was good at killing. I fought because, well, seeing a child smile as they realize they have a hero is something worth fighting and dying for.
And Whitaker's eyes have lit up like a kid at Christmas. You have definitely garnered his attention. And Morana just smiles. That is the first time I've seen him that elated in a long time. After the ordeal that he went through, I offered to let him just sit back and relax and be the domain master in his place while he gets reacclimated to people. I think you would be a good friend for him.
I'd like to paint a little more of this scene. Can we just have Barry crying manly tears off in the corner? Just
yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Like Armstrong from Full Metal Alchemist, just the manly tears.
You now have the mental image of Joseph and some squad mates rescuing children on Christmas. Have fun.
Your story suddenly gets interrupted by that same little bear girl from before barging into the house. She immediately heads for Whitaker, making hyper little child noises, grabbing his hand and pulling him out toward the door. And you could swear you see his smile get even wider as he's dragged outside, and the door shuts behind him.
Is there a window we can peek through?
There's a giant window right there by the front door, and Morana is already walking over to it and invites you over with a finger.
Joseph will stand next to Morana.
And Chimo will walk over, arms crossed, and watch curiously as well. I assume everybody's going to be watching.
Oh, I was gonna say, Joseph will look up at Marana and say, it will take a bit for Whitaker to get reacclimated, but if I learned anything today, it's that inner strength doesn't always come easy. Seeing the scenery before me, it reminded me that how hard it's been for me to even remember the good times.
It's been just as hard for him in his own way. The good news is that his fear of people isn't entirely all-encompassing. He's afraid of people except for children. No matter what happens to him, he always protects them and advocates for them and cares for them. And they adore him for it. Even when he was king of the land, they were always his priority. And right around that moment is the moment that Whitaker gets dragged into the same snow trap that you guys were put into, and then all of a sudden the same head explosion occurs and he gets bombarded with the same snowballs. And he just bursts into hysterical laughter and starts a snowball fight with all the children.
I may be hard and have the scars inside and outside, but I know a good man when I see one.
Joseph, you should go join the snowball fight.
Okay, fine.
Come on, you can use me as a bunker. Come on.
Joseph will lightly punch Barry in the arm. Okay, fine. But only if you've got my 6.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
And Marana goes out with you and just kind of watches the fight ensue. I want you guys to give me some actual combat rolls, just one each of your choice. You can either give me a fight, shooter, stealth roll to join into the snowball fight. You can give me a craft or resources roll to make snowmen and igloos for the kids. I'll let you do whatever you want on this one.
Can I roll physique to let the kids hide behind my massive bulk?
Sure, you can be their snow shield.
Exactly.
Well, Joseph
look at my Fugi. Nanashi, you look over and look at my Fugi.
Your face is your shield.
You know the line.
Well, I got a pair.
That's fine.
I got
Well, then.
I got a 2-1 shoot to shoot the snowballs.
Wait, hold on. Did mine not go through?
No, it did.
Yeah, you got a +2. I got a +4.
You got a fair. All right.
Okay.
So the children are all hiding behind Barry, who's acting as their living snow shield, and he's doing a fantastic job of it, while Ignis and Joseph start, sniping at Whitaker with snowballs. But here's the cool part. As you're doing that, Whitaker is actually pulling off some Matrix-esque moves and is dodging them with absolute perfect precision before coming in and doing a full 360 rip and shooting 4 snowballs at each of you in the blink of a second. Now, try your best to dodge those if you want to.
So that's for me. That's
let me give you this defensive athletics roll.
Yeah, give me an athletics. Ignis, give me a stealth roll to dodge, and Joseph, give me an athletics roll.
Is that roll terrible?
There we go.
Hey!
There you go. All right, so obviously Barry's going to take the hits because, that's what he does.
That's what he does.
But Joseph takes all 4 shots right to the face and falls flat on his ass, whereas Ignis has managed to dodge each and every one of them with perfect precision, no differently. In fact, you could say that their movements are almost identical, like they're using the same skill set.
This is a different kind of battleground that I haven't been acclimated to in a while.
Yeah, but you seem like you're having fun at least. Marana just kind of walks over and offers to help you stand back up.
Well, he said that in character, and he will take Marana's hand.
You hear voices up at the top of the hillside call out to the children, telling them it's time to come home, and all the kids are, dejected and upset, but they begrudgingly walk over to Whitaker and all give him a giant group hug before running back up the snowbank and climbing up on all 4s like a bunch of animals. I can't even say that with a straight face. And then Whitaker actually walks over to your group and kind of wants to say something. He keeps stuttering and moving his hands around. But then he just walks over to Joseph and gives him a full-on hug.
I'm usually not one to give these, but you're a great man, Whitaker. Strength doesn't come easy, but someone like you around, I'm sure it will.
And Whitaker just kind of smiles up at him in glee and just nods a little. And then he walks back over to Marana, and she kneels down and gives him a hug of her own, and the two of them look oddly happy together.
Joseph walks over to Barry. Well, you were right. There was something that would make me smile today.
You just see Barry beaming. You just, hey, I knew it. I knew we could coax a smile out of you at some point.
Well, when you make me relive the best damn memory I've ever had, you may as well.
Hey, not only that, we got to make some damn new ones.
I suppose you're right about that.
Marana walks over holding Whitaker's hand and says, "Thank you for doing this for us. It means a lot to him and to me. I'll talk to Fulmo, I suppose, about retrieving his little wakizashi at some point."
I mean, it's the least we could do.
She kneels down to Whitaker and says, "Why don't you run inside and make us a couple of cups of hot cocoa for you and me? I'm going to talk to them for a few minutes in private." And Whitaker nods excitedly and runs off into the snow, and you actually see him do the old-fashioned run and tumble thing where he flops into the snow before getting back up and just running inside. And Marana just laughs a little and sighs. You know, he's referred to as their guardian snow angel. Can you see why?
I'd say it's a fitting title.
Suits him better than king, if you ask me.
He did mention that.
I'm assuming you don't know about the domain masters and their association with the land. Otherwise, you'd be a little more trepidatious regarding them.
We gathered some things from exploring. I mean, all these domains seem to have their own magical affinities. You know, this being the white domain, it's cold.
The masters themselves were kings in their own regards in the past. A fun little bit of trivia about Diadem's history I picked up while I was my college teacher phase. Which of the domain masters have you met so far?
We met Fulmo, we met Miranda, and Conroy didn't introduce himself as the domain master. It's like, well, we went to the orange domain, but no one said they was the domain master, but we met Conroy, and he seemed to be the most knowledgeable, so I'm gonna guess him.
Oh yes. Conroy was known as the Curious King, believing in knowledge. He maintained the town's history as best he could. Miranda was the Intimate Queen, believing in relationships. Be it physical or emotional, she wished for everyone to find closeness.
We gathered that much.
And Fulmo was the King of Judgment, believing in the law. He was adamant about enforcing strict yet fair policy for basic society. But Whitaker was known as the Timid King. He advocated for those that couldn't speak for themselves, mainly the children. He is their guardian snow angel.
See.
Well, I will go ahead and get everything started for you as far as that test. If you are as kind to the people you intend to teach as you were to Whitaker and these children this day, I genuinely think you will do fantastic as a teacher.
I may not be perfect, let alone a saint, but today has shown that not every scar was awful.
The scars we hold in our hearts sometimes are the most powerful things in the world, aren't they?
And a good idea on why I endured that hell? Who I was doing it for?
Well, for what it's worth, I salute you, soldier, for all that you've done.
I'm not a soldier anymore, but I'll take what I can get. Joseph will just laugh it off softly.
Well, it was a pleasure to meet you all today, but as you are probably aware, I have a cup of hot cocoa with my name on it waiting for me.
Yes, ma'am. It was lovely meeting you.
And Chimo points out, yeah, we really should be getting back. Our chicken companion's probably getting hungry again, and I need to start preparing for when I join the Thunder Force.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So, Marana offers to shake each of your hands.
Classic Barry handshake. Though I imagine if she threw Whitaker over her shoulder like it was nothing, then Barry's handshake ain't gonna be as effective as it normally is.
It's effective because of how large your hands are, but she can meet your strength pretty evenly.
Ignis is just too busy.
Barry in the back of his head will repeat the line from the previous session. Powerful women are scary. At least this one. At least this one's a bit calmer than Miranda was.
Mm-hmm. She wasn't all up in your business. All right, so you head back up the path, where passing by the exploded snowman, obviously, and meet up with Exelov, who is waiting for you patiently. He opens the door for all four of you and lets you in again, and says, "So, did you find the business that you were needing?"
More than you can ever know.
Glad to be hearing it.
Along with some other things.
He closes the door for you, hops back into the driver's seat, and personally pilots you back to the front entrance where the gateway is. By the way, there is something I haven't been mentioning, and it just occurred to me that you probably deserve to know this. The gateways from the outside are a gold ring with a colored magic circle, but from the opposite side, the gateways are the same color as the magic of the domain itself, and the pathway in front of it, the magic wall, is actually just gold. It's an inverted color scheme.
Oh.
I should have mentioned that to you sooner, but it never really came up.
So like the portal or the gate from the domain side going back to Diadem is gold. Makes sense.
I thought that was a nice little aesthetic choice that I never got the chance to mention.
When we're riding on our way back to the gate, I want to take a moment for Barry to draw attention in character to something that's like, Ignis, did you see the way you and Whitaker was dodging them snowballs? It was eerily similar.
As you mention it, yeah.
I don't know, just feels like I might say something about the way Whitaker grew up. Maybe you and him ain't so different either.
Well, I mean, if I'm being perfectly honest, I never really had much of a childhood growing up.
Well, you understand my meaning, though.
Yeah.
All right, well, he drives you back to the main gateway, drops you off, and lets you go back through at your leisure.
Yeah, Eric, we gotta head back home before... Honestly, I wouldn't put it past Sonny to tear down the chicken coop if we took too long, so we probably ought to get back.
How would he even do so?
We're talking about a chicken that apparently has the ability to breathe fire. Who knows?
I want to say, did you see what he did to our living room?
Well, I mean, well, if it was in the chicken coop, then like I doubt that. Well, I was thinking like, well, he wouldn't do the same thing. But then you did mention that he breathes fire, so yeah.
Couldn't hurt to stop in and make sure he hasn't lit the place up yet.
Yeah, I did make sure to like put his food and water bowl in there with him so that maybe he didn't have a hissy fit.
I assumed as much. I assumed as much. And now that you actually have real food for him, he's going to probably be a lot happier.
Yeah.
All right.
How funny would it be if we like got him a harness and leash and started taking him around the town with us?
I mean, honestly, if that's what you want to do, I'm sure Caelim's probably got something for that.
With all the free time he has.
So, we'll say that this is a good way to end the morning segment of your day. You visited the domain, you met Morana and Whitaker, and you return home to your chicken to make sure that he hasn't basically burned your house down. When you come in the front door, he's actually pretty content inside of his coop. He's been pecking away at the new food that you've been giving him. In fact, he seems oddly fascinated by that food. You could safely say that he finds it delicious.
Sonny, we're home.
And the chicken just kind of looks up to your group and starts pecking at the cage.
Yeah, we'll get you out. I'm gonna open the door. You know, we didn't get him a litter box or anything, I just realized.
Well, as it happened, since you fed him appropriately and didn't leave him to starve, all the mess that he made was in, like, the far corner.
Okay, easy cleanup then. We'll just, that's what we use the morning's newspaper for.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works. All right, well...
Perfect.
That is so perfect. All right, well, I would say that's probably a good place to end this session on, unless you guys want to go a little bit farther.
Joseph was going to point something out. Now that I remember it more fluidly after that happy evening, wasn't even a real elf I punched. It was just some cosplayer with a weird... It was just some cosplayer with dementia that was causing a ruckus in a village.
Just some random dude from a mall Santa display.
It's that one fairy cosplayer from Legend of Zelda. He was just... If he had the personality of Johnny Somali.
You punched Tingle!
Oh my
Good job!
God.
I need to shake your hand. Good job! I need to shake your hand.
Listen, he was setting fire to buildings as an offering to Santa. We needed to do something.
Was it dementia or dyslexia? Was he making offerings to Santa or Satan?
I was dementia because you couldn't hold a conversation with him.
Point taken.
Well, while I'm thinking about it, I went ahead and gave you guys the appropriate roles for visiting that domain.
Yay! God, I still have so much fear in character and excitement out of character for when Chimo meets Miranda.
Oh, that's gonna be a fun day.
That's the equivalent of like watching a really spectacular explosion. It's like you just can't look away.
Mm-hmm.
You're aware that there's a lot of damage being committed, but you can't stop looking.
Well, in the meantime, though, you guys still have your afternoon and evening phases of the day, so what do you want to do from here?
I reckon we ought to go grocery shopping so we can stop eating these granola bars. Like, don't get me wrong, I like granola, but like it's gets a little old eating the same thing day after day. I'd like to get back to doing some nice home cooked meals.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie, that actually sounds really good.
Yeah.
All right, then let's make a trip to the grocery store then. Does that sound good for
Are you gonna make
you
us
guys?
roll to cook Nanashi?
I'm sorry, what?
Are you gonna make us roll to cook Nanashi?
I mean, crafting would qualify for that, but I wouldn't make it a particularly difficult roll with the ingredients that you guys have access to.
All right, point taken. Let's go grocery shopping. Who else coming?
Oh, Joseph is in a good enough mood, and he's gonna leave the mask behind.
Chimo's definitely getting sick and tired of the bland food we've been forced to eat, so she'll go too.
I mean, we did have Chinese takeout that one night.
Yeah, that's what spurred it.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Alrighty.
But imagine this for a second. If that's what the restaurant can make with the same ingredients that theoretically everyone has access to on this island, imagine what you can do.
Is any of us here particularly skilled in crafting?
Oh, I don't think
And none of us are, I know. I'm being funny about it.
Okay.
You know what? On my level up, I'm going to take a single point of crafting. I'm going to become the home chef.
Yeah,
Wait, I
now,
forget,
now
what
that
is
I'm looking
drive?
at it, nobody took craft. That's surprising.
Yeah.
Wait, I actually forgot. What is
Oh, what's what now?
drive?
Drive is...
Drive is to drive vehicles.
And general movement and combat.
Yeah.
Ah.
Driving vehicles and how fast you run. But I think
can
it's
drive,
drive
but-
+2, and then again at +4, you get
An extra
stunts
point
to
of
increase
movement,
your
yeah.
movement speed. Yeah.
Yeah, it's how fast and nimble your ability to move around is.
See, Nanashi, I did pay attention to your system.
Clearly you did, and I appreciate that. I genuinely do.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't study shit. I just happened to remember.
That's fine. Okay, well, if I recall correctly, the grocery store is in the Essentials District, so that is a little bit of a trek, but you're well into your afternoon phase now, so we'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Well, let's see what else is nearby. I kind of want to see what we can do, what mischief we can get to in the meantime.
You're welcome to do that. Maybe prepare a list. While you're doing that, I'll go ahead and continue. The grocery store building itself is painted an odd shade of tan, but is among the larger buildings in the city lengthwise. Front doors are glass push and pull. The parking lot is freshly paved, and the cart rack is full, but you see a few carts with metal ribs either missing or severely bent out of shape.
Huh?
Yeah, they look like somebody beat them with a bat.
You know what? You'd think I'd stop being surprised by now. Actually, since you two didn't come with us, me and Chimo, we went to the pet store. Well, I'm just talking about this while we're walking. We went to the pet store, right, to go get Sonny's food. And the pet store was actually immaculate. The pet store hadn't been touched at all. Kind of shocked.
Like, I assume all this damage is Marauder nonsense. I just find it very interesting that they wouldn't touch the pet store.
Probably nothing of value that they could get from there.
I mean, what value do they have by just smashing all this stuff for fun? You gotta remember,
That is
Marauder's whole
standard.
goal is just to make everyone else as miserable as they are.
Well, I meant valuable as, well, how can you make a pet shop owner's life even more miserable?
Well, you see, here's the thing. Me and Chimo was talking about it while we were shopping. And what we figure is either one, they do still have respect for the pet animals, which, I don't like them, but I can at least respect some morals. But Chimo had a much more interesting suggestion. Perhaps whoever owned the pet store could hold their own against the Marauders, and I find that fascinating.
There's a noticeable trend with the Marauders and, quite frankly, every other group I encountered before coming to this island. They love to pick on those that don't know how to fend for themselves, yet run away like a bunch of pussies when someone opens arms against them.
Joseph, language, we're in public.
Okay, I just needed to let that one slide at least once, but you get the main point. Games like these are typically all bark and no bite in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
Inside, the walls are a freshly painted peach, the floors are smooth concrete, and there are a dozen aisles filled with fresh and prepackaged foods of all types. Any foods you can think of can be found here, all organized across these aisles.
Are there price
Final-
tags?
Just about everything on the shelves are prepackaged and pre-sized to be 1Z per item.
Finally, some quality items. I was getting tired of the low-quality effort the government gave us. When you're a previous soldier like me, rations are... I'd rather have airline food than that.
Ooh, don't remind me about the airline food. How bad could it be to make you wish for airline food? I was lucky enough after I got famous, I was able to fly first class most of the time, but those first few economy flights, ooh.
How bad could it be? Well, gee, imagine crunching on a bunch of nails mixed with tar that tastes like it's been mixed with cat piss, or at least has the scent of it. They called that food.
About 3 different families have been staring at you talking about food as though it's gross and having no idea what the fuck you're on about.
Previous lives and experiences, you know how it is.
That's enough to get them to go back to their shopping, actually.
Just be friendly, providing context. Okay, Joseph, we might want to calm down on the PTSD talk before we make a much scene.
You'd want to explain your anger for it if you had to remember it, but now I have the chance to forget about it.
Exactly. Now, on the topic of good food, so it's literally just about anything here we can imagine.
Essentially, any food item that you can think of would be here. You know what to look for at a grocery store. I'm not going to guide that for you.
Yeah, I mean, so when you say, most of it is portioned to be, 1Z a piece, take, I don't know, eggs. Is it going to be 1Z per egg or 1Z per dozen?
I had a list written down of that. A 6-pack of eggs is 1Z.
Okay, gotcha. I mean, that's still better than real life.
Considering
$1 for some eggs.
Considering a Z in this land is worth about $100, you tell me.
Oh wait, really?
Yeah, I mean, don't you remember the exchange rate?
I forgot about the exchange rate. You right.
I mean, for the quality though.
Fair. Not to mention, Z is more plentiful than the US dollar.
Mm-hmm. Most of the people around here seem to be pretty plentiful with the element somehow.
Yeah.
So it seems.
Is this what a thriving economy looks like?
I guess so. Shame we don't know what that
I wouldn't
feels
know.
like.
I've never seen one.
Listen, we gotta take an educated guess, even if it is Fantasyland.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
Wait, hold on.
Hmm?
Wait,
Let's go grocery shopping. I want to move on from this.
Yeah.
I'm sad in real life now.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Ignis?
So would Z pretty much be vibranium? I think is what it's called for Black Panther, where it's common in Wakanda, but valuable everywhere else.
I guess you could say that, but the Z coin itself is obviously artificially made, as opposed to the vibranium that's found in the land.
Yeah, but still, you get my point.
I do. I'm just making sure we're clear here.
Yeah.
All right, so let's say you take 30 minutes to go grocery shopping and find enough food for, what are you looking to survive on? Like a week's worth at a time? 2 weeks?
Let's say how much for the four of us. How much would you approximate it for us to get like a month's worth of food? Well, no, most of it's fresh. It'd probably go bad in a month.
Yeah, so we'd be looking at there are some canned and bagged goods, obviously. So not all of it would expire within a month, but some of it would. So why don't we just do a week at a time? Why don't we do a week at a time?
Yeah, a week at a time would probably be
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Sunday is grocery shopping day.
Well, since you're basically taking ingredients into account rather than just the meals itself being pre-made, because obviously they charge you more for a pre-made meal, 1Z would be enough to give you enough ingredients for part of a meal. So let's say, how about 10Z a person for a week's worth of food?
Deal. I'm subtracting it from my money. Hey guys, I'm out of money.
You're officially out of money?
That was perfectly all of my money.
Wow.
He used up his portion of the money. He
All
could
right.
have split that shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, you gotta think. Barry's lived a life of being famous. He's used to just being able to chuck money around. He's gonna have the realization the next time he goes to buy something and a moth flies out of his wallet.
And then some random moth mother is going to be like, thank you for finding my child. Here's some money.
It is 1Z.
To be fair,
a
Z buy
penny.
pretty much anything you need.
I mean, fair.
All
All
right.
right, but yeah, legitimately, I have already subtracted the money for my inventory.
All right, so that'll be 10Z a person. You guys cool with that?
Yeah.
All right, then you find that the aisles are, relatively normally organized. There's no real brand names to anything. Everything appears to come from the same general location, and everything's categorized pretty straightforwardly. There's even working refrigerator and freezer cabinets that you can use, but they're pretty much all metal instead of some of them being like the metal plastic hybrids that you're used to.
Right. Do we have a refrigerator at our house? I guess we never talked about that.
You actually
How
do.
furnished is our house?
It's minimally furnished. You have basically every appliance you need.
Okay, got you. Stove, refrigerator, toaster.
I will admit, though, there's very little plastic in everything. It's pretty much all metal.
Okay, maybe not a microwave then.
There would be a microwave. There are some metallic
Well, you can't microwave metal though.
Well, what do you line the inside of your microwave with?
Nanashi, have you ever stuck a fork in the microwave before?
I see your point. I'm saying, what exactly is on the inside of a microwave?
Okay, I'm gonna Google the inner workings of a microwave. Hold on a minute. I need to hold on. Well, okay. See, here's the thing. I kind of know the science behind, the reason you can't stick metal in a microwave is that the way a microwave works is, it shoots the waves through, and the metal gives it, somewhere to, focus in on as opposed to just waving about, And that's why it starts sparking and arcing.
Of course. The inside of a microwave is actually made of stainless steel or painted steel with a special paint coating. So you can make microwaves entirely out of metal. You just got to have the special coating.
Okay, so assumedly all our microwavable dishes would also have to have something similar.
Basically, yes. Or they could just be
You know
made
what?
of glass.
I'm not going to dig into it anymore. This is your world, and I accept the lore as it is.
That's fine. Feel free to question me on anything. If you actually catch me and trip me up on something, I will gladly admit that you got me. I can't think of everything.
Yeah. Well, at the same time, I also don't want to spend 5 hours on my scientific ramblings.
That's fine. Let's see. Oh, okay.
Actually,
About halfway through your shopping trip, you do notice a young man, a ferret boy with short blonde hair and a white t-shirt under a red apron with a gold name tag stating Jack, offering free samples of their brand new cheese.
You said a young man. I was like, dear God, Caelum, not again.
Nah,
It's the same thing.
nah,
It's the same thing.
not this time. Nah, this
Not
one's a
this
ferret.
time.
This one's a ferret.
We'll see him when we get to the register to check out.
Barry is paranoid now.
Barry is paranoid of indigo
Barry
children.
is not paranoid. Alice is paranoid.
Fair enough. But yeah, no, this one's a ferret boy offering free samples of a cheese plate.
Ooh, sounds lovely. Take one, modest taste test of the cheese.
It's about an inch wide cube, and that cheese is rich, creamy, and delicious. There's also a small tray of salt that you can put on top of it if you're looking for something a little bit less sweet.
Oh wow, that's probably about some of the best cheese I've ever had. Forgive me for being greedy, but I might just try another piece with this salt right here.
They're all free. You can take as many as you like. I have more. We stock up on this stuff pretty much every day.
Just to answer your question before you ask it, yes, we're new in town. That's why I'm so shocked. Every day, this is some of the best cheese I've ever had.
Thank you. We picked it up from the farmer's market earlier today.
That's awesome. Joseph, Ignis, Chimo, y'all gotta try this cheese.
Well, I guess if you insist.
And just like what happened before, you taste it, it is absolutely divine. Even Chimo is impressed by the flavor. Y'all have never had Violet Domain cheese before, have you?
No, not really.
Well, you should visit. I tend to go there myself because their prices are a little better.
An idea pops into Joseph's head. Cheese like this, and we don't even have any wine to pair with it.
We do have a wine aisle over there if you want to grab some.
Well, Joseph bolts over to there.
Yeah, of course he
Joseph
does.
starts power walking. Oh, well, our army man's on a mission.
That's gonna cost you an extra Zia bottle.
I'm gonna bring the shopping cart over there and say, Joseph, I'm gonna tell you right now, I will cover all the food, but I do not have enough money to be stocking a wine cooler. So if you're gonna get some wine, you're gonna have to get it your darn self.
I plan to, and I only needed the one bottle.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to add cheese to the shopping list here.
So, a block of cheese and a bottle of wine, that'll be another 2Z. So your grand total is gonna be 42.
I paid 40, and that's all I had left. So.
Oh, you paid for the
Y'all
entire.
figure
Oh,
the
I
rest
didn't
of it
realize. Okay.
Yeah, Joseph can pay the 2. I have 132 currency, so now I just have 130 left.
Well, I mean,
Nanashi, this grocery trip was my last 40Z. I have been covering everything happily. This isn't a complaint. This is just a statement of fact of what's been happening up to this point.
Well, I mean,
I've
I
done so
have
happily, but I am now out
Well,
of
I
it.
have 143. If you had just paid for our portion.
Jack the Ferret has never seen somebody so enthusiastic by alcohol, and he's just kind of staring at you guys. You people are weird, but I like it.
It's mostly him. I don't drink. I drink very sparingly. He is very enthusiastic.
Oh, hopefully it's this fun when I turn 21.
Buddy, try 90.
Yeah. He's actually a little flabbergasted by that one.
So he claims. I don't think he remembers the exact age anymore.
It's been a while, and the stuff on this island has been the only thing I could feel, drinking-wise.
Joseph has cause to smile again. Alright, well, I guess we go.
The things to make him smile easily is showcased on this island. Alcohol that could give him a buzz, and happy memories involving the children he saved, yes. Or at least reminders of it.
Amazing.
Alright, so let's say that you grabbed yourself an extra bottle of wine, and the wine bottles are actually a little larger than the ones back home, but not by much.
Well, that's why he's only getting the one if it's larger than usual.
Alright, so then you get your cheese, you get your wine, you walk up to the front counter, and there are a few lines open, Walmart, but the shortest one is the farthest from the door, ran by a balding tortoise man in a beige long-sleeve shirt under a red apron, his gold name tag stating Eustace.
Eustace.
When he spots you, he leans over the conveyor belt with a smile on his face and flags you down. Find everything you needed today?
Oh, everything and then some, sir.
Glad to hear it. He counts up your items with relative speed and totals it all up. That'll be 42Z, please.
Barry digs out his pouches here. Oh shoot, I've only got 40. Hey, can one of y'all front me 2Z real quick?
I mean, I'm already paying my share for my wine and the cheese, so I may as well.
Alrighty, cool.
Barry hands over the 40Z pouch and lets Joseph pay for the wine and cheese.
But thank you very much. He bags up everything for you in brown paper bags and with handles built in and hands it to you. Have a nice day.
Oh, you too as well, sir. Barry, like the Giga Chat he is, picking up all the groceries at one time.
Yeah, but there is one detail you didn't really think of. You now have to drag all those groceries home from the Essentials District over to your Residential District house.
Well, you see, I thought about that as a player as we were grocery shopping. Barry did not consider it because carrying stuff, that's Tuesday. That's light work. As long as the bags don't rip.
Well, they're dense brown paper. They shouldn't rip as long as you carry them proper.
Yeah. All right.
All right, well...
You know what? I probably shouldn't carry it all by myself to minimize the risk of some of it breaking.
Yeah, let them carry the more delicate stuff like the cheese, the wine, and anything in glass, and you can carry everything else.
Like the eggs. Assuming we got eggs. I assume we got eggs.
Well, yeah, I mean, you did ask about the price of eggs. I assumed you picked up 1 6-pack.
Yeah.
We'll just say you grabbed whatever food that you feel is necessary, and with this in mind, that means you will never have to worry about producing food again. You got enough chicken feed to feed him for 2 months, and yourself enough for another week.
That chicken got more food than we did.
And judging by the appetite he had, that chicken's eating better than you guys are.
Probably.
All right, well, let's say you carry it all home. You're still about halfway done through the afternoon phase of your day. Did you want to do anything else, or did you want to call it here and basically resume halfway through the afternoon?
Resume it at the middle of the afternoon.
Okay. So then we're all good to call it here for the day?
Sounds good to me.
Yep.
Well, all right then. This has actually been a fantastic and productive server. A fantastic and productive session. That's what I meant to say.
Got a lot of character moments.
Mm-hmm. We got a lot of
Are you sure you didn't buy that extra large wine bottle?
Ha! I haven't drank alcohol in years.
Damn. I'm sorry.
That's fine. I don't drink anything stronger than a wine cooler anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got a lot of productivity going. Joseph got a lot of character development and actually grew a smile twice in one day.
He took off the mask. We need artwork of him without the mask now.
Mm-hmm. Barry got to...
He's going to just look like the Doomslayer.
Barry got a chance to just kind of hang back and enjoy everybody else doing stuff for once. And he got to build a chicken coop for your companion. And I know for a fact that Ignis was burning curiosity, was all about that white sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about his burning curiosity the night before.
And of course, you know, if Chima were here, she would probably have something to be curious about too, but we'll leave that for the next session and hope for the best. All right, then we'll go ahead and cut it here. Thank you everybody for coming in. I hope this was as entertaining to watch as it was to record, and we will resume our session in 1 week.
Yay.
In the meantime, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.